Hello and welcome back to XP Waste, where Michael's favorite thing to do in the Chambers of Xeric is literally pick 1,000 gourds. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I am Michael, the gourd picker.
You guys think we're kidding? We went on 5 or 6 person chambers the other day? Or is it that big 9-man skill? Whatever we did, it was like a stupid meme Chambers of Xeric. Yeah. We're all wearing like mole slippers and clan cloaks, like it was dumb. And we get to like the prep portion right before Ulm, and Michael's like, I'm gonna pick 1,000 gourds. And we're like, haha, okay. We keep going. We got our gold pars, we're making our pots, we got our overloads together, we're all getting our gear on. We're like, Michael, where are you at? He's like, oh, I'm still picking gourds. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, I told you guys I'm picking 1,000 gourds. I'm up to 800, check the chest. We're like, what? Is that what you've been doing the whole time? We're like, are you geared? He's like, no, but I can be.
Good times. Good times. I was a little sassy that raid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went to
compliments only raid.
Compliments only raid. I went to make the chest. Okay, they sent me off to Scab, and in my defense, I had eyes only for the planks so that I could make the big chest, and that's all I did. And I came back and I helped with Ice Demon, and they straight flamed me. They're like, I thought you scabbed. I was like, no, I just made the chest. So then I got mad and I just picked gourds the whole time.
I mean, when you go scabbing, you're supposed to get the stuff, like the juice and the mushrooms and the Sicily and
yeah, I get that now.
Yeah. This man only thought scabs meant I'm gonna flex my 99 construction and build the big chest.
Build big chest. Good. That's fun though. I'm actually really enjoying raids. Like the handful that we've done in the last couple weeks. It's getting me pumped to continue to do more and get better. I told Alex that I want you and him to teach me how to run head so I can stop being a leech. Essentially.
It's not that you're being a leech. It's just that like tanking mage kind of sucks. And you don't know how to skip. I don't know how to skip either, but it's just tanking mage, you take a lot more damage, and you're like always in P3. You're like, does anybody have any brews? That's because I even told Scape the other day. We went on a learner raid in Vikings, and I told him, I'm like, you and I at some point need to just take Michael, like just the 3 of us.
Yep.
And we're gonna give him a little rundown of how to run head.
Yep. So
he can get more confident with killing Ulm and not freaking out about supplies. Because like tanking mage is awful.
I hate it, man. Like by the time we get to P3 and the crystals are coming down, I'm like, I maybe have 1 or 2 brews, and I bring like 10. That's just, it's bad.
Yeah. And like it gets easier the more you do it, because you're like, you can see the crystals under your feet faster.
Yeah.
It's more second nature where to run when you get portals. Like you can learn to run through the lightning, and then like the better you get at Ulm, the more confident you are sitting on like 40, 50 HP.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And not panic eating all the way up to 108.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't. It's probably best if you just stop tanking mage.
Yeah.
And learn to run head, and then go back to like, I ran head for probably about 30 or 40 raids, and now if I have the opportunity, I'll do melee hand, but without a scythe or an infernal cape or the ability to melee skip, I can get benched pretty quickly depending on who we go with. But we talk about raids because we've been doing a shitload of them this weekend.
Yeah.
It is currently Memorial Day. We have 40 minutes left of Memorial Day here in the United States for me, in East Coast time. And our entire weekend, it's been a really interesting holiday weekend, because on the one hand, I haven't gone outside prior to today at all. I spent my entire long weekend on my computer for like 16 hours a day. On the other hand, I was with people all weekend long. We had food, we had beers, we went on raids, we did all sorts of stuff. The Discord was going up this weekend because everybody was home. And you were there for quite a bit of that too, right?
I think I popped in and showed you guys my hamburgers, but no.
That was the laggiest call you ever popped. We heard like 2 sentences. You're like, "Hi guys, I'm at my it's Oxie from XP." And then you just disconnected. That's all we heard when you popped in.
Oh. That's fine. But no, I was with family all weekend. Actually being outside and doing things for the first time since Christmas. It was a great weekend for me. I loved it.
Good. I'm glad. It's been a really good Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Overall.
Overall, great.
Happy Memorial Day. Happy post Memorial Day.
Yeah, it's pretty late now.
Yeah, this comes out after Memorial Day. But Michael, what are we talking about today? It's a hodgepodge today.
A little bit. So
yeah, it's a bit of a
The big news on the table right now is the ranged meta getting proposed, reworked, reproposed. So I think we should break that down.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, I just got 92 Slayer. Nice.
Jeezy.
We should definitely talk about that a little bit. They have proposed a shitload of changes. The whole thing started with like, maybe the blowpipe is too strong, and now they're effectively just like overhauling every weapon in the skill. Like everything. Like crossbows are getting buffs. They're adding offhand things that increase range strength to buff things like knives, darts, and like chinchampas. They're buffing crystal bows. They're nerfing the blowpipe. They're talking about adding a new crystal bow, which seems pretty cool.
That looks exciting. That looks exciting, because like it would give you furthermore reason to grind the gauntlet if you haven't got a 1 KC Hunliff.
I mean, so when I get pets, I have to complete the collection log.
Yeah.
And since I got a 1 KC Hunliff on Corrupted Gauntlet, I have to get the blade
from the regular
from the normal gauntlet, and that sucks.
Yeah.
So, you win some, you lose some, but I'm still excited. The way they're proposing it is like, oh god,
enhanced.
It's like an
weapon seed.
Yeah, enhanced weapon seed, where you can turn it into either a blade or a bow, and you can corrupt the new bow too.
Oh my gosh,
and change its colors.
Cool. That's gonna be cool for Fashionscape.
The Fashionscape will look pretty cool, although I personally don't care about recoloring the blade or the bow. I'm super indifferent about that poll question when they're like, "Oh, can we make the blade of Saldor into lightsabers?" Like,
why
there's
not?
no. Yeah, I voted yes because it doesn't hurt anyone to have it in the game. It doesn't hurt me to not. I don't know. So I just voted yes. But
it grows the economy, hurts no one. Anyway, yeah. So there's a lot to unpack. I've read over it a couple times. I think it's funny because I read over it when they posted it, and then Oxie was like, "Hey, do you want to talk about the range meta?" I was like, "Sure." And so I read over it again, thinking it was new. I'm like, wait, all this looks so familiar. So I got a fresh take the second time. So the biggest one that we could go over, and I think we will be talking about this whole time, is the blowpipe, because that's been on everybody's mind when it comes to range meta rebalancing.
Because we've never talked about the blowpipe.
Yeah, what is a blowpipe, Oxie?
Oh.
I think it has the record for the item that has been mentioned the most on this podcast. We've talked about it at least for like the last 4 weeks. So if you guys are tired of hearing about it, let us know. But it's the big news in OSRS.
There's a lot of content, so like we'll try to discipline ourselves and keep the blowpipe talk shorter this week. So we'll just real quick do like a 5-minute lightning round, like a 2 tick on rapid. 2 2 2. That's a gif I can't wait to see. Talk about the blowpipe,
Yeah, the biggest thing that they have proposed in this newest round of proposals is just cut accuracy and buff strength. If there's one thing you can walk away knowing is that, they have future content in mind, and they also want to still make the blowpipe a viable weapon for certain encounters. And so I think it's good. What are your thoughts, Oxie?
I really like it. I think I've got it open over here. I really like the idea of having the new range strength combined with just like the new base accuracy of the blowpipe. I don't know. I just like it. I think the accuracy nerfs are really confusing. Although the one thing they did say, they're taking it away from darts altogether. So like when you wield darts, they no longer have an accuracy bonus at all.
I think that's
so
what I meant.
Accuracy bonus.
I'm so sorry. That's what I meant when I said like they're cutting accuracy is like they're taking it out of the darts. The overall accuracy in the actual blowpipe is still cut by half. It's half of what it currently is. Yeah, I think
is it half?
Yep, it's accuracy 30, strength 20. Currently, it's accuracy 60, strength 40. So they're cutting it in half.
Okay, cool. Yeah, honestly, it's still not a bad change. The amethyst dart proposal is interesting because they, from what I understand from the blog post, amethyst darts are going to be about the same as rune darts strength-wise, except in a few very specific situations where like it could be amplified at specific attack values, and it could be more if more range strength gear is added to the game. So
hint.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I read from that. They're like, I mean, if we happen to release something that's stronger, but who knows? So yeah, I mean that's a good sign of things to come. It's I think amethyst darts are going to be tradable. I saw a YouTube thumbnail the other day from a channel that I have no idea who it was, but the title of the video was, I just learned I wasted 5 months of my life, and it was him with this dead expression on his face, and I think it was over 1 million amethyst arrow tips on his Iron Man.
Oh no.
It's like, oh god, no. That sucks, dude.
That's so much amethyst.
I didn't watch the video. I assume that's just how the dude got 99 mining or something like that.
Okay. And, yeah.
Or maybe he's got a T-bow and like that's how he funds it, because dragon arrows are kind of a pain in the ass to come by. Yeah, that's that's gotta suck. I mean, I'm not fussed about it. I'm a little concerned about what they're gonna do to the price of rune darts, but they brought up a really good point in the blog, I think, that rune darts are still going to be tied to the price of rune bars.
Yeah.
So,
which is tied to alch, which isn't going
anywhere.
Yeah,
it's not like they're going to, plummet. They're not going to be like mithril darts that are worthless.
Right.
So, overall, I'm totally fine with the changes to the blowpipe and the new dart system and all that jazz.
One thing that they did want to, I think they highlighted here, was they cut the accuracy of the darts to 0. But they're still going to be viable if you ended up just tossing them without the blowpipe. But I think they also said that it's possible for them to just cut the accuracy when darts are used with the blowpipe versus just by hand, that they could differentiate that if people wanted it. But they're also like, darts don't get used very often just by themselves. Unless you're like rounding up smoke devils or something, they don't get used very often.
I was going to say, I use mithril darts for one thing, and it is to gather up my burstables.
Oh, yeah.
And get them all in a neat little corner. That's literally all I use darts for.
Yeah. I'm cheap and I use steel darts, but
I think mithril darts are actually cheaper. I think.
That's
surprising. I'm not sure, but I thought I heard somewhere that mithril. Now I gotta look it up. Hang on. Oh no, I lied. You're right. Steel darts are 3 GP. Mithril darts are a whopping 7 GP. So, I don't mean to flex my huge bank value or anything like that. But that's another awesome thing. I mentioned bank value. Real quick, this could be a tangent. This could be the direction of the rest of the episode.
Okay.
Michael and I only had a really vague plan for this week as it is. My bank value has gone up by like 40 mil, and I have not done bossing activities to make me 40 mil, which means the economy's on the up.
Content. I'm telling you, we said this last week. The floodgates are open now. Clan system is out. They're working on other things besides the clan system. Yeah, dude. Announcements make a huge difference. I made about 65 mil. No. I made about 60 mil profit off of a scythe flip, like because of an announcement. So things are on the up, man.
An announcement that should be affecting all of us, hopefully by this time tomorrow, because TOB hard mode and the new quest, A Night at the Theater, comes out tomorrow. So I'm stoked. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that on stream tomorrow night. I'm so excited to do a solo quest TOB.
Nice.
Oh my god. We're gonna get all the lore. Tell me about how Serafina made it through and the vampires were like, actually, you can't leave. Tell me about how they made the pestilent bloat. Show me a cutscene of Zarpus in Vampirium. I cannot wait for all of the lore in Theater of Blood to be brought forward in a quest.
Nice.
I am.
Links in the description
so
for Oxie's stream.
But the announcement that TOB hard mode is coming out has driven the price of like all major melee things up. Like I think I bought Tassus the other day for 21. They're up to 24.
Ooh.
BCPs are going up. Lances, claws, warhammers, BGSs are going up.
Nice.
Zenites are back above 10 mil a piece, which is huge. They fell to like 9.5 a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Which is just sad.
It's very sad.
And then other items that have not really as much of a tie, like my crossbow, it's like 13 mil for no good reason.
What?
Yeah, but general PVM items are back on the rise, and people are excited for the TOB update.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the same content repackaged in a different fashion, people are excited for an update, which is really good.
Nice. I'm excited, and I don't even do TOB. I'm just excited for people to
do TOB.
I'll probably do TOB story mode. Try that out.
Yeah, you should do TOB story mode.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see the differences because, I mean, I have, again, I don't mean to brag, 5 whole KC at TOB as of last night. We finally got a kill last night as a group.
Nice.
I have 5 total KC and I think 53 attempts. Yeah, no, our top runs have been pretty rough sometimes. But we're getting better every single time, even if it's just by a little bit. And I'm really interested to see what like a story mode or what like a quest mode TOB is going to be like. I'm also super curious to see what the challenge mode's going to be.
Yeah.
Because Arcane said something in the last modcast that was like, it basically was like some things are not going to be killable.
What do you think that is?
I think it's going to be the blood spawns at Maiden.
Okay.
Which is going to be a disaster.
What, do you just have to keep freezing him? Or
yeah, probably.
I don't know the mechanics very well, but like, do the blood spawns, they come out of the walls, right? And then they
no, those are the crabs.
Okay, and never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So Maiden has a blood attack that targets where a player is standing, and she spits blood splats all over the room. If you step on them, I think they drain your prayer, and they definitely heal her. Sometimes a random number of blood spawns that's calculated somehow, I'm not sure the exact way that they determine how many come out, blood spawns, which look literally just like little dreidels, but made of blood, and they just spin around the room, and they leave a blood trail behind them that has the same effect. If you walk on it or stand in it, you take damage, and Maiden gets healed. Generally speaking, you hit those with Ice Barrage, and then you blowpipe them to clear the room. Because having the blood everywhere is a bit of a mess. If you can't kill blood spawns, that's gonna be freaky.
Yeah, you just gotta keep freezing them then.
Yeah, that's gonna be freaky. But it could be anything. It could be if you hit a Niloka wrong, it can't be killed. It could be that the exhume phase in Zarpus does damage to you and you can't stand on the exhumes. Who knows?
Could be anything.
Who knows? Maybe it's the red crabs at Verzik, which would be awful to get past P2, but I'm really excited. Not that I'm gonna complete a challenge mode tab, but I'm definitely gonna be watching.
Never say never, buddy. YouTube. Never say never.
Again, I'd like to reiterate: 5 for 53.
I mean,
3 of those KCs were taken with people who, I don't want to say I was the leech. I was the leech. 100% I was the leech. Like, I went deathless 2 of the 3 times, and it's not like I don't know what I'm doing. These guys had like Bandos, Scythe, Mutagens, Infernal Capes. I was the leech in my Elite Void. 100%.
But I'm just saying, one day you'll have an Infernal Cape and the gear that it takes to get it, and maybe you'll do maybe you'll do a challenge mode.
Yeah, it's just gonna be one more boss to get ranked in. So,
oh gosh,
hooray, hooray!
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, the equipment rebalance, the new quest announcement, or not the new quest announcement. It's
kind of a quest.
I guess I mean it is a quest, but you're gonna do it once, and most people are probably just gonna hold the space bar and just get through it. But yeah, the new TOB mode, things are looking good. I'm happy to say that, like, finally things are looking and feeling good for OSRS.
That's why our last episode was just named Finally. Because that was the feeling we had. God. Was just finally.
Oh, it was so nice. And the clan system is awesome.
Can we talk about that for a minute?
Sure, I'm all for it. This episode has no structure. Whatever the title is gonna reflect just how erratic this whole episode is gonna be. And it's not gonna be like, we've had episodes where we have a topic and Michael and I just jet off on tangents and ignore the whole thing. This one is intentionally topicless.
This is like just chatting on Twitch. Like, we're just going for it. Just chatting, man.
Hold on. If we're just chatting on Twitch, there's a new category for it now. But Michael, I'm gonna get us more views for the podcast. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna be able to hear you, so just get ready.
Okay. This man is in his bathtub.
I'm in my bathtub, but this is as close as I can get to being a hot tub streamer. Hi there. My name's Oxie. Welcome to XP Way.
Surprisingly good microphone quality.
I'm gonna die at Basilisk nights because I'm away from my keyboard.
I love this. Our viewership just spiked, Oxie. We're doing it.
Oh, God.
That's great. Oh, man. I love that.
500 bits and I changed my dad's shirt.
Hey. Oh, your door's still open, by the way. If you're cool with it, I'm cool with it.
No, you guys are going to see my hot tub this week. I keep it closed. Little insight into... I hate this door being open. I got a new camera about a year ago, and it has a wider field of view. Because my old camera, you never even saw the bathroom. This one you do. And I hate that people are just like, not that my bathroom is... All you can see is a towel.
Just a towel.
It's not gross.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no one wants to look at a bathroom. But now that I've sat in my bathtub and shouted at you guys from across the room, you got to sit with that now. So,
audio viewers,
to XP Waste, baby.
Audio only listeners are so lucky right now.
Honest to God.
This is one of those moments. Again, we ask you every episode. Like, if you're an audio only listener, go to YouTube, find the timestamp for what just happened. You won't be
nope,
disappointed.
Not this week.
No, you need to see it.
You keep your ass on Spotify this week. Are you a Spotify or an Apple Music guy?
I am Apple all the way. Although for music, I listen to Spotify. For podcasts, I'm on Apple. It's weird.
I'm on Spotify for everything, which is so. That's funny that both the what are we? I almost said stars. I almost said stars of the show.
We're co-hosts.
Co-host sounds better. Yeah, I'm not. Stars of the show sounds lame. Both the co-hosts listen on two different apps.
Hey, but it gets us a little bit of a variety when it comes to like where we listen. As long as us two pull it up, then we're good.
Yeah, broadens those analytics. Like I said, I'm probably 1,600 of our 3,000 views. So
Oxy's got to listen every single second 3 times.
I got to be honest with you. Some of the episodes I edit, I don't even watch because I sit in front of them for 6 hours and hear the same things over and over again. So I'm like, I know what it sounds like. Yeah. I think I just muted the Mathis episode entirely because I had edited that one and I just like let it play for the YouTube view when it first came out. It's like I had my headphones off because I'm like, I can't listen to this a 17th time.
Right.
I can't do it.
Yeah, if you're listening to these episodes more than once, thank you. You don't have to, but thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how you can tolerate me more than once in the whatever. Anyways, how do we get on this topic?
I have no idea, but we can bring it back. We could talk about the crystal armor and crystal weapons.
Clan systems. That's what we were talking
about. Oh, clans. You're right.
Clans is great. Right. We'll get to the crystal stuff in a second.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about clans. We have a clan hall. Everybody does, obviously, but it was really fun. Oxie and I, we both woke up super early to try and snag a name. So we got TNL, just 3 letters, all capitals. And looking back, I almost guarantee you TNL would be still available to this day, like right now.
Yeah. There were 3 clans online. We were one of them on our home world.
Nobody cared. Our friend Mathis got Ape. Like he's clan Ape. Just APE. Awesome. It's awesome. But he didn't snag that name until way later in the day. I don't know why we were freaking out so much.
I got up at 5:30 in the morning Eastern time.
Yep.
And sat at my computer with a coffee, and I hopped into VC. Scape texted me like as soon as I went to bed, and he's like, "If I'm not awake, call me and wake me
5
up
times." Yeah.
Like
it wasn't that serious.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna be up.
I was awake at 4:30 my time.
I'm like, I'm gonna call Michael too, and we all got a VC at about the same time. We're like, "Oh wow, this sucks."
It got me a pretty good head start on editing. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, but like I never want to be up at 4:30 a.m. for a RuneScape update ever again. Unless it's something so life-changing that I have to be the first one to try it. I don't want to do that.
Honestly, like I hate waking up in the morning, but something about this is going to be just a weird thing I do. Something about like prepping for the next day, getting my shit together, getting like a comfy outfit to wear in the morning, you know, showering the night before, you know, planning out what I'm going to have for breakfast the next day, getting my like coffee pot ready, and waking up when it's like still dark out for RuneScape. Oh, that is good. I did that for Deadman mode. I did that for Leagues too. I did that for clans, and all of those were just, they were just fun. So as much as I hate being up early in the morning, I love waking up for a RuneScape event. I absolutely love it. So like when Raids 3 comes out, fingers crossed, I'll probably be up in the AM.
You gonna try it?
Oh my god, of course I'm gonna try it.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question.
Get stuff, baby. Let's go.
That's gonna be my next question. It's like, I remember the first, like when Cox came out, the first team that ever completed it, it took them probably like 6 hours. And those were experienced PVMers. Wow. 6 hours. You can't log out.
You can, yeah. You just have to stay in your world. I mean, if Raids 3 is more like Chambers than it is like Tob, then I will 100% go for a completion on the first day.
Wow.
If it's more like TOB,
maybe it's like neither of them.
We gotta watch some guides first. If it's like neither, then let's go.
Let's go, boys. But all that said, clans was a lot of fun. I mean, if you want to join TNL, hit us up. I did fix the Discord link in the description, so it should be working now. Oh, shout out to Brian McDormand. I think I said that right. Brian McDermott, for the YouTube comment letting us know the Discord link didn't work. So should we bring this ship around and get back on track?
Okay, it's bold of you to think this ship had a track in the first place, but yeah, sure. You wanted to talk about the boat.
Yes.
I lied. 2 more small things.
Okay.
Number 1, the cat in the kitchen.
Oh,
that's what's his name? Nelson Hubbard, something really adorable.
I have no idea.
It's wonderful.
The cutest.
You can pet the cat in the kitchen. Number 2, you can entertain on the piano, and the keys actually work.
Love it.
Like you can play piano music.
Yeah.
Like I was in there the other day with a few of the clannies, and I was playing like Yankee Doodle on the piano.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I think you can only click a key. Yeah, you can hear it.
That's awesome.
I think you can only play a key once every game tick. So, because I found the sheet music for Coil, and I was like, what if I play like the Zulrah theme on this piano? And it's just you can't click that fast.
Oh, nice.
You can't. It won't let you click that fast. I also can't read sheet music, so like, awesome.
So the range meta has changed. It's like we're at the top of the episode again.
You would think we were drunk the way we're just bouncing back and forth. We're really not. It's just almost midnight and we're both tired.
I'm very tired. So. I worked all day today. I went on a walk and now we're here, buddy. Now we're here. So I can't pronounce this name to save my life, but it is.
All right, we each get one chance. We each get one chance to say it.
You go first.
You go first.
Oh,
I'll go first. All right, I'll go first. Ferdinand.
Okay. I was gonna say Ferdinand.
I already forgot how I pronounced it.
You said Ferdinand. Ferdinand.
Ferdinand. Yeah, Ferdinand.
So the spelling, for those of you unaware, is Faerdhinen. Jagex, please, with the elven names. Saldor is so easy to say.
I said it weeks ago. They just hold their keyboards up and they're like, all right, here we go. Arcane, you're up this time. Pah! And they just punch the keyboard and whatever pops up on screen, that they're like, oh, Ferdinand and Fergenhugen.
It's German.
Perfect.
Sounds more German than Elvish. Ferdinand.
Welcome back to XP Race, where we try to pronounce elven names for the next 45 minutes.
So it's a bow of Ferdinand, and it is slightly better than the crystal bow, and it can be corrupted. And what they're proposing essentially is either it drops on the table of the gauntlet alongside the blade of Saldor, or they replace the blade with an enhanced crystal weapon seed, or you can revert the blade of Saldor to a enhanced crystal weapon seed, which you can then just sink into the bow. So those are the three options, I think, that have been proposed in this this blog here. And I want to say there's a survey at the bottom that you can just take and tell them, or all of these questions will come up in a poll in the game. If I had to choose, I think it would be really cool to put the bow on the table alongside the blade, so that you have more variety of like expensive drops. Because you could get the blade or the bow, and if you go and you get back to back, say you're an Iron Man, you get back to back blades, and you need a bow. Well, you probably could still dismantle it and make the enhanced crystal weapon seed and get both, but like maybe you can't, and you have to get the bow and the blade. So it's just more fun, I think, to grind that content.
I agree, but in a different path.
Mm-hmm.
I am still a little sketched out. While I agree that the crystal armor buffs are good and this new bow sounds awesome, it's real possible this becomes dead content immediately. Because they said at the very bottom, they're like, in summary, like the bow of Ferdinand F
the F bow
is against mid to high defense targets where ruby bolts will be ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure, like, off the top of my head where that is. Like, I'm sure it's applicable somewhere in the Inferno.
Could be Zulrah.
I feel like Zulrah has, the blue phase has a low enough range defense. The blowpipe is still going to be used.
What wouldn't the green phase be? Because you can green phase.
Green phase is magic anyway.
Yeah. But you can take a T-bow into Zulrah and just T-bow the whole thing.
Well, yeah, but you take a T-bow because of Zulrah's magic level.
Oh, right.
You don't take a T-bow because of Zulrah's defense level.
Right. You're right.
So, like, it could work. It could be a method if you don't have a twisted bow, especially depending on like the tick rate. Like if it's a 3 or 4 tick range weapon, if it's the same speed as a short bow, then sure. What I'm concerned about if they do the enhanced crystal weapon seed is if the bow sucks, the price of the blade of Saldor is going to drop as well if you tie them together.
Yeah.
Blades are going to go...
Yeah, you're right.
So your best in slot slash weapon, that's not... The best in slot one-handed slash weapon is going to plummet if the bow sucks. The bow could also be really good, and the blade could skyrocket.
Yeah.
But I'm still skeptical because I'm excited, but I'm nervous because it's crystal armor.
One thing that they did say in here is right now, to get the effect of the crystal armor, you have to wear the entire set, which is very limiting because who wants to go and have a full crystal armor switch to then go into your actual range switch? So they said, well, why don't we just make each set, like they said, why don't we just make each piece give some sort of buff to the bow and you don't have to have the set bonus. So if you wanted to, you could just take the crystal top and armadillo legs, and then that would be a good balance, and it would still be effective. I think that if they were to make any sort of change to the crystal armor, it would be to take away the set bonus to a point and still give us some sort of bonus to crystal weapons without having to wear the entire thing. Because it's not I don't think it's functional, and it's not how this game usually is played meta-wise. Because like I know for Chambers, you're wearing ancestral bottoms with a BCP. That's not how the gear was intended to be worn, but that's the best outcome that you could have for like the types of content you do in Chambers. So
I mean, you can bring tacits, we just don't because
a tacit switch.
It doesn't make that much of it. It just takes up an inventory space, doesn't make that much of a difference. Somebody listening is like, oh, why don't you bring max melee for the melee hand? We don't care. And I'm sure there's some other reason behind it. But yeah, so it's like the armor in the game, varies on how you use it. I'm just the most excited because you can now use a Slayer helm and get the effect of the crystal armor. I think. Like that's a big addition. Being able to use I'm trying to find the exact wording they use for it, but to me that's a big addition, is being able to use a Slayer helm, because I've heard once you get good at it, the best in slot gear to bring to Hydra is prayer gear. Because a twisted bow cuts through Hydra like nothing. And prayer just extends your trip so you can stay there forever. So crystal armor is the best, but because you always have to be on task,
you don't get that bonus.
You don't get the full set effect. Not that you're using a crystal bow against Hydra anyway. Again, that's a situation where the mage defense is high enough where if you got a T-bow, you're taking a T-bow. Or it's still draconic, so if you don't have a T-bow, maybe a DHCB. So that's why I worry about what's going to happen with the bow, because the way they have it laid out right now, at the very bottom, it's like T-bow for high magic, blowpipe for low defense, dragon hunter crossbow for dragons, crossbows with ruby bolts for high defense targets with high HP. So like Zuck, for example. And then they have the bow in this slot of like high defense but can't use ruby bolts. So why not bring diamond bolts instead? Well, if you have a crossbow,
could be future content. Because we're thinking of monsters in the game now. They're probably thinking of, hey, this could be useful for the monsters we want to put in the game to have some sort of options.
Yeah, you got me there. Because honestly, obviously I've been thinking about new content, but I didn't consider it in the sense of like, yeah, you're right. I'm very much stuck in like
what's
what
out
RuneScape
now
looks like right now. Because all the monsters, like I've got my high scores pulled up. All the monsters that you can take range to that you wouldn't take ruby bolts to,
or
KBD
you don't use
is a dragon. Yeah, KBD is a dragon. Giant mole, you take a T-bow. I don't know off the top of my head what Dawn's defense level is. So I don't know if you'd be able to bring the bow to Grotesque Guardians and make it like the F bow to Grotesque Guardians and make it work. Krill has a high mage level. Bring a T-bow to Jad. Bring a T-bow to Zuck. Like what I'm looking at right now, you could bring a T-bow to Kriara. You can bring Diamond Bolts or Champas to Kriara. Or you could bring the bow of F to Kriara as well.
Right.
So you're right. It's what I'm stuck in right now is like, where does that niche, isn't that niche already filled by Diamond Bolts?
But you could argue this would be a little bit faster, could hit a little bit harder, and they're not.
If it consistently hits harder, that would be hype. Because sometimes you'll fire 25 shots in a row and you will hit 0 after 0 because you won't get a bolt proc. So that would be Yeah, I guess if it consistently rolls higher than a crossbow would, then it probably has a good place. But you're right. I'm thinking very much in the present of what RuneScape looks like and not what it could be.
Because if they had this bow, then that allows them to put out high level content that they don't just have to give this monster a high magic level for no reason. Because right now, if you want the monster to be viably killed, they have to consider the metas, which are Blowpipe or T-bow. And then it's like, well, do we give it a low defense level or a high magic level? Well, how about neither? How about we do something that you can kill it in a variety of ways? That both kind of fits in there. Which I think, future planning wise, makes this not something that would just tank.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it might tank initially because, again, we are thinking of it from like the current perspective and like what current bosses look like in OSRS.
Yeah.
So this item really might not see much value yet, but as soon as they release something new where they're like, yo, this bitch has 200 HP, but an extortionately high defense level, let's start taking the F bow, because it has 1 range, 1 mage, 300 defense, you know? Like that could be, again, I'm confused about how range defense is calculated, because for the longest time I thought it was strictly based on the monster's offensive like range level and not their defensive level, which is like why you take range to dragons and things like that.
I have no idea.
But now that they've gone through all this like effective defense calculations and like talked about how the range levels and the actual like defense level matters, I have no idea anymore. So maybe 1 range would still be viable for a toxic blowpipe as opposed to the bow of F. But the developers know the stats better than I do to plan something that would make this bow usable. So,
and that's the whole
especially
point.
if they designed an encounter in Raids 3 around this kind of like high defense, low HP thing that they're talking about. That's definitely going to give value to it for sure.
Yeah. So you mentioned you wanted to talk about the new polling system or like the surveys that they have out, or they have been sending out.
It's not quite a new polling system.
I didn't mean to say that.
So yeah. Jagex has been releasing a ton of surveys for like probably all of 2021. They released a survey about like, what are your thoughts on like RS3 content being ported over, like Soul Wars and Shooting Stars? You know, what are your thoughts on changes that need to be made to the wilderness? What are your thoughts on the range meta as a whole? I think they're really good for players to individually voice their opinions and have Jagex pay attention to them, and also not get any sort of backlash from other community members for it. Like, if on the day of the nerf, you went to like the day of the proposed nerf back in like January, February, you went to Falador and you're like, honestly, I agree, the blowpipe needs a nerf, you would be exiled from that place because those people were pissed.
Yeah.
So having a nice little spot to be like, hey, this is what needs to get fixed, and like, this is my own opinion. This isn't there's no input from anybody else. So to speak, which is really nice. And then when the survey results are in and they release like a range meta poll blog, they can spit out the numbers. So if someone on Twitter is like, oh my God, don't release this new thing, or like, don't nerf the blowpipe, this is the stupidest decision ever, a poll result is like, hey, so 73% of the player base thinks the blowpipe needs to be nerfed and another 15% don't give a shit. So no, like, we're going to go ahead with that.
Yeah.
It's super helpful for the players. It's super helpful for the devs. I don't know. I really like how they've been communicating with us and these, like, through these survey results, because it's not just sort of like that first equipment rebalance blog kind of seemed like an unfounded, like, this is an integrity change that we're going to make with just nothing to back it up.
Yeah.
And now months later, they've got the receipts, and it's good. I'm a big fan of these surveys they've been sending out.
And it
what do you think?
I think it allows the quiet majority to have a bigger voice than an in-game poll. They can run them longer. You can reach a wider audience of people who maybe don't want to log in and have them, because aren't polls members only, if I recall correctly?
Yeah, but I mean, they only talk about members' content. Like,
again,
what free to play person even knows how to do the gauntlet?
Well, yeah, but like, what if you're on a break from RuneScape for a week or two, and you don't want to bond up an account just to vote in a poll? It's just accessibility, I think. Accessibility, a wider audience, those kinds of things, because the numbers were surprising. If we quickly go over what they said initially with this, it said 78% of respondents said the current range meta is stale. That's a lot of people. Now that's 78% of the people who responded. So like, that doesn't represent the entire game. Like, that doesn't represent the community as a whole. But I think in any given poll in game, you have maybe like 20,000 people respond out of the maybe odd 100,000 that could be online. So I think it's,
and that's what I
well.
would like to see. That's what I would like to see added to these things, is that, like, if you go on the wiki and you look at old polls, they'll tell you percentages and they'll like tell you rough numbers, I think, of who voted for what. Like, how many people voted on this question, how many people voted in this poll. It's a little, like, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like, 93% of players wanted the blowpipe to be effective against low defense targets, but 93% out of how many who did the survey? If 70,000 players did the survey, that's like basically a blanket yes. If only like 2,000 players did the survey, I mean, surveys are meant to be representative of your population. It could work, right? As long as you're assessing the population appropriately, which it's possible. I mean, we send out bingo feedback forms and people don't fill them out because they're like, oh, it's too wordy. You got a 10-page survey, the average RuneScape player, like, are they gonna look at that?
Yeah.
You know, it's, so I guess if you're not forced to do it, are we ensuring that all the different player bases are coming together and talking about this? Or are you only releasing surveys for such hot button topics like the wilderness and the range meta that you're confident more people will respond? And if that's kind of what their aim is, and these surveys are going to be few and far between, but they're going to be really important.
I think one thing that they touched on at the bottom of the page on the actual range meta blog is unpolled versus polled changes. Well, what they could start doing in the future is, instead of putting out like a blog and then going to Reddit, going to Twitter, going to all these places where people like to complain and getting feedback that way, and then making changes, they could put out a proposal, send out a survey, take that feedback, as well as feedback from the community and other channels, but like, really consider what is being said in an unbiased opinion, and then put out an actual poll in game. So like, the combination of survey to poll could be a new meta for Jagex to get better updates in the future.
But how do you release a survey without releasing content? So think about the Theater of Blood.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Think about the Theater of Blood poll blog, but there's no poll blog.
Yeah.
And you just have a survey that's super vague. That's like, if you were going to see an item get an ornament kit, what do you think it should be? What are your thoughts on ornament kits on items? What are your thoughts on transmogs for pets? Like, where are you going with this? Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Are we getting a KBD transmog? Is the Dragon Hunter crossbow going to get its recolor that you talked about for combat achievements? Is this something new? Like, what is happening? So in some cases, like, hey guys, we have a poll blog and it's Tob, but it's harder. That got people excited.
Yeah.
That's fun. Admittedly, I didn't love the initial designs of the scythe. And I'm really glad that they repolled those. I'm disappointed that Just Issue didn't make it. Anyways,
maybe future
I don't think... fingers crossed. I don't think survey into poll should be the new change. But I certainly do think the surveys are a really effective way to get productive player feedback. Because like you still have people commenting on the surveys, like I'm sure they do on social media. This sucks. This proposal sucks. Don't fix it. You know, the other day I posted a very detailed thing about my ideas to fix Venenatis because they're going to do a wilderness rework anyway. And someone commented, the boss doesn't need to be fixed. She has a safe spot, so just don't take any damage. I was like,
tell me you
yes.
only read the first page without telling me you only read the first page.
Like, they're gonna be reworking the wilderness, and I assume that means that they're gonna delete those safe spots.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna either make the wilderness bosses aggro ranges and things way more specific so they can't be safe spotted, or they're gonna put them all in little arenas where you can't do stuff like that anymore. Yeah, I'm aware that there's a safe spot. You know, I'm sure the people at Jagex are aware that there's a safe spot. So when somebody says, why bother fixing the wilderness? There's a safe spot. You just skim over that question.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. So people are still probably going to respond like that. I just really like that there's a way for, like you said, the quiet majority. It makes us sound like downtrodden individuals. We're really not.
No, I mean, in every community, there's a vocal minority that somehow makes themselves louder. It happens a lot where the silent majority, the people who don't really care, but don't really care to say anything, they're the ones that just go along with it. And in the past, Jagex has listened hard to the silent, or they've listened hard to the vocal minority in things, and not really taken into account the overall community. Because the silent majority could be the ones voting in polls. I don't vote in many polls, and I consider myself in the silent majority.
I try to vote in every poll I can, and I can and will talk about anything related to this game. No matter what. I think, oh my god, I talk about this game to people who don't even play this game. It's fantastic. I'll always try to vote in polls if they come up. For example, when the Blowpipe nerf was first proposed, I was pissed. Because it was a dude, like, it was too much too fast.
Oh yeah.
Like, we need a compromise or like a rework or something. And then the next day, they're like, hey, we've decreased the accuracy, but like buffed dart strength. Thoughts? Golden. Good enough for me. Because their reasoning was sound enough, but their proposal sucked.
Yeah.
So just take 5 minutes and fix it to make it not as initially painful. Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's been my stance since, you know? So I understand that like people's minds can be changed, and, you know, that loud minority can get smaller and smaller the more that they release these kinds of polls and poll results.
Yeah.
And things like that. So, well, not poll results, survey results. In short, surveys good. Hopefully they keep doing them for really major content updates, but I just don't know. I don't know what's going to warrant a survey without a poll blog. Because we've heard nothing about the wilderness. We have heard, I remember last week we were talking, we're like, oh yeah, this time tomorrow, there's a leadership stream. They're good.
It was so disappointing.
We heard nothing about Deadman mode. We heard nothing about the wilderness. We heard nothing about combat achievements. We heard like Group Iron Man is coming eventually. I think like tentatively it's like November.
Requires engine
that
work.
I've just heard through the grapevine. Like they didn't say it in the modcast.
Right.
So
yeah,
maybe we'll get lucky and tomorrow they'll say something, but I doubt they will because tomorrow is TOB hard mode. And a Kingdom Divided is coming in a few weeks as well.
Woo!
So it was a big survey. I took the wilderness survey. It was very, very long about Slayer and skilling and PvP. A lot of stuff about PvP. And a lot of stuff about PvM. Like all 7 wilderness bosses. Like, what do we change?
Right.
It was a very detailed survey. And we have gotten nothing. So I think the surveys have to be just for big content updates.
Don't don't they have like a wilderness update slated for like end of summer, midsummer when the anniversary happens?
The initial timeline was July.
It still could happen.
But the initial timeline...
Yeah.
All I gotta say is I'm so glad combat achievements came out at the end of March.
Oh, gosh.
Timelines are scuffed, dude. I don't know. This is just me complaining. I would like to hear something.
Yeah.
Are you good in this half? Are we good to send it over to the ad?
Yeah, we'll send them over. I think we're good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Big news, by the way. Big news, listeners. It is officially, my time anyways, officially June 1st.
Woo!
Which means this shit show of a month is over.
It's behind us now.
So next week, not this episode.
Yeah.
The week following, there will be a brand new ad for you guys.
Get ready for it. We're excited.
And hopefully new ads following that. Michael and I have been discussing different ads that we could do. We're very excited. Ads, the new fun ones are coming.
Fun ads.
Until then,
fun.
Yeah, new fun ads.
Fun ads, we should say.
Like I said, we're still not, we're still beating away sponsors because they want us so badly.
Oxie, if you haven't checked the email lately, so many RuneScape NPCs have been emailing us trying to get a spot on this on this podcast, and we just had to keep rejecting them, but not anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. Just wait. We'll get to you guys. Don't worry. We'll get to you.
If you're a RuneScape NPC listening right now, email us. We'll get your ad on the show.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay. It's time to go to the break. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
See you soon.
How you doing, you bastards? My name's Fortunato. I work out of Draenor Village. I sell the best wine in the whole damn continent. Not in Draenor, not in Misthalin, not in Gillinor, the whole world. I sell the best wine in the whole damn world. People tell you, you're gonna buy wine for cheaper on the Grand Exchange. They lying to you. That's juice. That's juice. The best wine comes from me. Huh? The pirates, they buy my wine. Them freaks with the hats over there in Zia, they buy my wine. Okay? You gotta come over here, you gotta buy my wine. At Fortunato's, we don't waste nothing. Very rarely do I have wine that go off because it's so good as far as flying off the shelves. When it do go off though, the vinegar, we're gonna sell that too. I hear there's some old man just east of Iraq or something like that. He wants vinegar. I don't care why. In this business, you don't ask no questions. You're hearing this ad, you're thinking to yourself, you're like, oh, I got some buddies who make wine, I could do that too. You wanna be a tough guy? Huh? You wanna be a tough guy? Make your own wine? Try to outsell Fortunato? Yeah, sure, whatever. I dare you. I dare you to outsell me. In fact, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a head start, okay? Come over to my place, I'll sell you some jugs. They can be full of water, they can be empty, I don't care. Not even your girlfriend at the Grand Exchange has better jugs than me. I get these bitches by the gross. I'll sell you as many as you want. You can make all the wine that you want. It's not gonna be better than me. Come swing by Draenor Village, swing by my wine stand, have a good drink, and leave feeling good, okay? I promise you, you're not gonna find any better wine anywhere else. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that ad, because I know I sure did. I only said it because we say it. It's just, we have to.
Becoming unironic.
Yeah, it's horrible. Anyways, you all know what time it is. I don't know what this 90s dad. I don't know what this 90s dad aesthetic I've got going on right now, but it's a question, but it's fun.
Really?
Check it out.
Really?
Yeah. You'll never
Who'd have
believe
thunk
this.
it?
Exactly. I think you'd have thunk it because you had to thunk of this week's fun question that we done talked about the thinking to do. So you done the thunking.
I did the thunk. Oxie already knows, so I'm not even gonna play it up like, "Ooh, Oxie, what do you want to do?" We're just gonna say
it's 12:30. It's 12:30 in the morning. Let's just.
You ready for this? Okay.
Yeah.
The fun question this week is: think of RuneScape food items, potions, what have you, that you would want to bring into the real world to be able to consume and have. And go.
I have 1, 2, maybe 3 and then a lot more in mind.
Okay, go. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing that came up that I'm like, all right, like what am I thinking of? I looked up OSRS food and I'm scrolling through. The gnome cooking looks fucking bomb.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
The two things that I really want from gnome cooking, spicy crunchies look really good. They look like real delicious little crisps.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a chocolate bomb sounds good. A cheese and tomato bada looks good. And then like I'm just looking at some of the other drinks here. The Drunk Dragon actually sounds pretty good as well.
Does it describe the ingredients on the Drunk Dragon?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, hit me with
Drunk Dragon.
What's in the Drunk Dragon?
It's 1 part vodka, 1 part gin, and then dwellberries.
Ooh.
And then it's garnished. It's got pineapple chunks and cream, which could be a little strange.
Okay.
And it's served warm, I believe.
Okay.
There's also the Wizard Blizzard, which is 2 parts vodka, 1 part gin, lime, lemon, and orange, presumably their juices.
Ooh.
And then pineapple chunks and a sliced lime as a garnish.
Oxie,
so
do you know what I'm thinking? Next episode, we make a gnome cocktail and have it ready.
God. Is that the fun question next week? Shut the up. Is that the fun question? Are we not going to have one? Are we just going to make gnome drinks?
Cocktail hour?
I can't wait to get wasted on a
so
Sunday
fun.
night. That's going to be fantastic. Check that. That's happening next week.
Oh, yeah.
We
need to coordinate and go to the store or something.
I'm going to get some adult beverages. We'll have to get the same type of gin and vodka for sure. But the other things that definitely stood out to me, anglerfish seem really unique to eat. Although,
what do you eat?
Predators. What?
Like, what of it do you? I know that you consume the whole thing in the game, but like, I'm just thinking they got massive teeth, they got weird skin, they got that little light coming off their head.
Maybe that's the delicacy. Maybe it's like a little like a grape.
Okay.
Squirts a little juice out at you.
Okay.
Anglerfish bobble. I don't know.
Gross.
It just seems fun.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try. And then honestly, brews sound
okay. That was gonna be one of mine.
Brews sound like fun.
Yeah.
Because brews heal you and they boost your immune system because they boost your defense, but they nerf the shit out of everything else that you could do. So I just imagine drinking a Sarah brew. It's kind of like robo-tripping. Like you drink it and you feel better, but you're high as shit because you cannot do anything.
Your dexterity is down.
You can't lift anything.
No.
You're like, bro,
no strength.
My strength is so low, dude. Like it just you have no depth perception because your range is off.
Somebody asks you to throw him a pencil or something.
You just like drop it in your hand like that. Sarah brews sound like a lot of fun. So yeah, those are what I would want to try.
Okay.
But if I had to choose anything, I'm going to the Grand Tree, and I'm just ordering like one of everything.
Nice. The blueberry special was the first thing that stuck out in my mind because it's such a classic staple in OSR's quests, and I want to give that a try. I know. Okay, when I was thinking of this question, I immediately secondary thought was, I remember there being a YouTube channel that dedicated a lot of episodes to trying like OSRS drinks and food. I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure they tackled a lot of the gnome drinks, and I might look that up this week for inspiration on like for our next fun question segment. But the blueberry, is it blubberries or blueberry? I think
it's Blurberry. That's the name of the bartender. Is Blurberry.
Okay, Blurberry special is probably high on my list. The classic RuneScape food is to consume an entire shark in one bite. So I would like to see that, how that would translate to real life. If it's like, if you have just like a tiny little bite-sized shark, or if you're just chomping down an entire bite of shark.
You're anacondaing that bitch, and you're just
I'd also like to see what it feels like to combo eat food. Like if I could have like a monkfish with a carambuan right after, see how I would feel IRL with that happening. Because presumably your health is related to your overall well-being IRL. If you were to port in like how these foods make you feel in RuneScape to how they make you feel. So like if you're just feeling down, can you just pop a monkfish in a carambuan and be like, I feel good.
I mean, have you ever had like fruta di mare or like surf and turf or something like that? Fruta di mare is like, it's an Italian dish. It's like fish pasta. It's like it's clams and mussels and shrimp and fish and like lobster pieces and calamari and all these things all in like a pasta with like a white sauce and all that. It's really good. Yeah. I imagine it could be something like that, or like surf and turf is a more American example of like eating a steak with a shrimp.
Oh yeah,
which is not how combo eats work in
be close.
The US. So if you're equating it to real life, a good comparison would be like get a swordfish steak with a side of calamari.
Okay,
that's probably just like one bite swordfish. It's like swordfish. You get the calamari in one hand. Your nice little like chipotle garlic aioli bullshit whatever. You get your well done not well done, you don't ever want to do it well done. Get your nice swordfish that's perfectly cooked, and then one tick, so you got half a second to go at the same time
and chew them down.
Yeah, you gotta swallow.
You have like a 3 second.
If you really want,
you have a 3 second delay till the next time you can eat, so you have like 3 seconds to chew it and swallow it.
If you really want to get spicy with it, I wish I had a straw, but you can't. I don't think you can see. Hold on, we're gonna move the mic back. I think. Can you see the water bottle?
Yeah.
On screen.
Yep.
All right. Here's the move. You got a straw right here.
Okay.
Right. Filled with your Ceradoma brew.
Mm-hmm.
You get your swordfish in this hand. That's cooked to perfection. My compliments to the chef. You get your chipotle garlic aioli covered fried calamari. Cause you ball, right? You gotta like hump.
Oh,
it's like all at the same time. You have to like keep them close, and then you have to have the straw in your mouth.
Because you're referencing the food combo eat brew technique to get a
food brew carambuan. Yeah. If you're gonna combo eat, you gotta combo eat in style. You bet your whole ass the next time I am out at a seafood restaurant, I don't care what kind of seafood restaurant it is, I'm gonna take a Snapchat, or I'm gonna have whoever's with me be like, listen, I gotta do something real stupid for a second.
You gotta combo eat some seafood,
and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try combo. I could choke and die, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay, please don't die. The other one that I thought would be so fun, we've mentioned it many times, and you've probably seen the ad so many times, but I want to try Fortunato's wine. He speaks so highly of it. I want to see. I want to see what the hype is. Just port me in some Fortunato's wine, IRL. It's honorable mentions in my mind. I haven't looked at the wiki to see, but like RuneScape has some really good pizza. And they have really good potatoes, like tuna potatoes, cheesy potatoes. I want to try that kind of stuff. I know we could IRL, but like, what would it taste like from the RuneScape world?
Bro, this game's got pizza.
It does.
Oh my
Pineapple
God.
pizza.
Could you imagine a Gillinor pizzeria?
Oh man.
They'd have like 4 things on their menu. It'd be pineapple, anchovy, meat, and then cheese or plain pizza. So it's like cheese pizza, presumably.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be so cool. There's so many cool things, dude. A culinary tour of Gillinor would be amazing.
It would. It really would. It would be a lot of common foods, but I feel like it would just feel special. Like, if you could have potatoes and cheese, that's not that great. You know what I mean? Like, that's common.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say, this is potatoes and cheese from Gillinor.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of it's common food, but like, what's in a summer pie, for example? Let's look at a summer pie.
Yeah, the pies.
A summer pie is made with,
isn't it like
apples,
Villanova?
watermelons, It's apples, watermelons, and strawberries.
That's it?
Yeah, it's the 3 ingredients mixed together. I mean,
I thought there was some kind
IRL,
of fruit, like a Gulanovo.
No, I think the Gulanovo thing is a different. It's like the fletching pie or something.
Weird.
I don't know. It's something like that. In any case, it's a real interesting combo of like what could a fruit pie be like? Oh no, it's a botanical pie with a Golovanova fruit top and a pie shell. I'd try a Golovanova fruit top pie. I would 100% try that.
I'd try any pie that came out of RuneScape. They all sound good.
Well, if you like, wild pies also sound real good.
It's a bunch of different like gamey meat, right?
Yeah, like Scape always talks about having pie, and he means it in the sense of like pot pies.
Oh yeah,
like a shepherd's pie type deal. So like a wild pie has like rabbit, chompy, and raw bear. That might be a tough one. Carnivores don't really have good meat.
Yeah.
That's why we don't eat wolves and instead we eat cows. So I would be a little concerned.
Yeah, it just have to be a little bit of bear meat.
Yeah, it'd be really, because like that meat would be really tough because it's a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I'd be super interested. It just sounds so fun. The only thing I just want to know now what an IRL equivalent to an equileaf is.
What?
Because that is an equileaf. It's essential in a lot of gnome cooking.
Oh, in the gnome
and
cooking.
I need to know what the equivalent of an equileaf would be.
Oh, tweet it Mod Ash and see if he can answer that question.
Dude, bet I won't. I'll be like, Mod Ash, God Ash, I have a question for you. What is the IRL equivalent of an equileaf? I need to know for science.
For science.
So you and we're gonna text each other. You really want to make a blurberry special?
I don't want to make a blurberry. I want to make some sort of cocktail. It doesn't have to be the blurberry.
We gotta make a blurberry special. I'm just afraid of brandy, but we can make it happen.
Okay.
We'll text each other, figure out what brands of alcohol we're gonna buy so they taste exactly the same, and then next week for the fun question segment, we straight up will just make drinks.
Nice.
That'll be it. That'll be the fun.
I'm going to the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to get a tiny little like plastic martini glass just for this.
I thought you meant the Dollar Tree for the liquor. I'm
no,
trying to get us killed?
No. See if they have like a plastic martini glass. Because I have we have like wine glasses and things like that. I don't have anything fancy. And they all come in real fancy. I don't.
You got a shaker? You gotta get a shaker.
I gotta get a shaker.
Oh my god. You gotta get a shaker? I got a shaker at my place.
It's gonna take some prep. But I'm excited.
Next week's gonna be a lot of fun. We hope you guys enjoyed this week. We know it was kind of all over the place, but again, it's late. It's not May anymore, thank God, but it's late. It was long. We appreciate you guys for sticking around. Let us know what you guys think about all the new stuff that's coming out. Ranged adjustments, TOB, clans, all that. Keep adding us on Instagram of all the really cool stuff. And don't forget about the delightful hats that we have as well from Beanie's Custom. Shout out to Michael for just holding it up. I actually have mine in front of me this time so I can hold up my HP cap.
Woohoo!
Little story about this hat. Recently, I went to a farmer's market this past Thursday, and it was horribly cold because that's what Michigan does. It gets really warm and then really cold for no good reason. Woke up, it was like 50 degrees, wore the hat to the farmer's market, and this guy selling microgreens was like, "Your hat, dude, is that RuneScape?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is. It's RuneScape." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, I saw a patch." And I'm like, "That's definitely 99 HP." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." It's so cool. And I'm like, "What do you play? Do you play OSRS or RS3?" He's like, "I mean both, but like I mostly just play OSRS." So like microgreens guy, if you're listening to this podcast, hell yeah.
Get yourself a hat.
Get yourself a hat. 10% off. Use code XPWaste at Beanie's Customs, their website. Get yourself a hat.
They're lovely.
We'll see you guys next week where we're going to talk about something RuneScape related. But then more importantly, have a bar night. Maybe that'll just be the whole episode. We'll just make gnome drinks the whole time.
I don't see why not.
and just get shitty drunk. We'll see how.
Hey, we could make them for the main content, and then have our fun question be real fun.
After we're real drunk. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Listen, if you wanna have a hand in the fun question for next week, if we end up just like making cocktails for the first part, send us some fun stuff. Maybe we'll read your user submitted questions.
Oh my god, that's it. That's what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna give us a fun question, and we're gonna get super drunk next week. All right. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.